We all felt it. Our team certainly felt you'd like to have gotten a little more going there earlier, give Miami some credit, but then came back out and really started making some plays and getting the benefit of positive things happening. So it was a really good, good, I'm going to say, game for the Dallas Cowboys for what we've got coming up. And I'll say this, that Rosen's got some pocket presence about him, because I sure thought we had our hands all over him a lot of times. I'm just surprised we didn't get more sacks, but to his credit, he was able to make some plays.
Well, Jerry, was this harder than it should have been, or is Cowboys Nation getting spoiled to think that way?
Well, I don't know about harder. They've got a whole bunch of those players over there that were players that we would have drafted, and that's just the NFL. That's what you're playing against out there. And like I said, very early on, we were all over it, but we just couldn't get the play, couldn't get the turnover. We finally got one of those, gave them one of our own. But really, all in all, I think I wouldn't trade what it did for us to play a game like this at home. I wouldn't trade it if you said you can have a do-over and have a better shot at what it came
At the end of the day, you had two 100-yard rushers for the first time since 2008. Tony Pollard, obviously, like what he did in the preseason, certainly complimented what Zeke did.
Yes, and I think that we all know what Zeke brings. This is without being trite, this is a physical game. Zeke's a physical player. But I really like the way Pollard runs with some power, and runs certainly has the kind of burst. So I think he's going to be a big playmaker for us. I am anxious to see when we start doing some things at some point when we start throwing those backs the ball.
Jerry, how do you
get them
measure
out in the passing routes?
Jerry, how do you measure this team after 3 games?
I think that I wouldn't try to ask for more right now, and I know your coaches know individual players would say I've got more to give, but I wouldn't try to ask for any more. I think we're in the queue to go down here and play an outstanding coach, outstanding team, and they don't have Breeze, but boy, they've got a lot of really good football players. We have a great relationship with that organization, and we just know what we're into in New Orleans. And of course, New Orleans, I've always felt like Louisiana, New Orleans, almost like a second home to me.
That said, what do you make of being 3-0 for the first time since 2008?
Well, I would not. I know what this is, and I know what 30 years of this is, and I know how good to feel and appreciate getting to start off 3-0 for stuff. Really, when you get behind the 8 ball, you get behind the numbers early, you pay for it later on, and when you've got a little edge starting off, then you benefit from that later on. We'll need it all before we're finished.
Jerry, Dak was a little greedy there in the second quarter, but I don't know what you guys told him at halftime, but he came out to being with 8 for 8 in the third quarter on those first 2 drives, and certainly helped y'all distance yourself.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we're starting to just get just unbelievable disbelief when Dak makes a poor decision. We're just not used to that. Can that really happen? Dak make a decision like that? And of course, we also are so used to when he's got that, said, well, how about just running down there for 60 yards? Right. We're all thinking the same thing. I'm just proud that he's moving that ball around, came back out, really moved it around to a lot of different people. He really is seeing where the play is. And so I'm really pleased with that game that he played today.
Jerry, another 2 touchdowns for Amari Cooper today. When you gave up a first-round pick, I know you've been asked this before, but is he just surpassing any expectations you had?
Yeah. Amari speaks, and his abilities speak for themselves. What is really, you just couldn't appreciate it until you get close to it, is how conscientious and just how focused and how much he's working at it. And that everybody around him senses that. So he's such I'm going to call him, he's an overachiever. He just is working on every detail of his game, and some of those routes, I know y'all watched them when they reran those routes. Those routes were, I don't know that I've seen anybody affect some of the change of direction in the middle of his route and not losing speed doing it. We saw a little bit of what will happen if they'll let us just have him alone with people today.